Support the show that supports the scene. Patreon.com/BRLSON. It's pretty much $1 a show. Plus, I'll give you extra stuff, exclusive shows and content, and there are levels to this game as well, including a advertising package, which is cheaper than our normal one. So sign up and support the show that supports your scene. Patreon.com/BRLSON.
BRL, son.
Peace, this is Nelson Dialect. You're tuned in to Beats, Rhymes and Live.
This is ISB. You're listening to BRL.
Yo, this is Ray. You're listening to BRL.
What up, it's 360.
Yeah, this is Nick Loopy from One Day Spit Syndicate.
I'm Seth Century. You're on Beats, Rhymes and Life, and I endorse this product.
Peace, family. This is El Fresh the Lion on Beats, Rhymes and Life. Stay tuned. This is where hip-hop lives.
It is BRL, the podcast. Gav with you here, and this is going to be exclusive to the podcast. We're dropping this on the day of Chatter's Still Chatting EP dropping. Now, I've actually had a copy of this for about a month or so. Played it probably a little earlier than I should have, but he was in the studio at time of recording last night. Put it into the laptop to sort of have a bit of an edit, maybe cut some things down for the radio version, and it has a reverb over the entire thing. I don't know where this has come from, some kind of weird loop or feedback or something like that. I can't fix it. So we're going to drop it as a podcast. You can listen to it. It just sounds like one of those old comedy recordings from like the late 80s. Like think Bill Hicks or something like that. It's got that reverb on it. I'm not going to be able to air this as a radio interview. It's just it's not going to pass the test through the network, but I will put this out as a podcast. It's a good chat. It's great fun. We talk about all kinds of things, ranging from the Tension movies, if anyone remembers those. If not, well, you're about to hear about those for about 10 minutes because we start nerding out on that. And a whole bunch of other topics. The tongue comes up, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good conversation, and without any further ado, here is the Chatters album party, exclusive to the podcast. And apologies for Chatters for the failure on the audio as well. It's BRL.
She acted like an Emily, but her name was Bethany. When her friends leave, just then, when she said to me, as I can't believe what's happened to the night. It was meant to be a drink, then call it goodnight. But it came with the fright, love's never felt right. As I've fallen asleep, then woken in a dream. Who's to see what this is gonna be? Who's to see what time I leave? A shock to me that I caught her right. Night was over, now it's feeling alright. Time to step, like a 1-2 step. Music was playing, coming straight from the head. Who would have guessed, we only just met. Dancing in sync, man, who could be a threat? Good times ahead, what we would have said. Till your boyfriend came over and took you to bed. She dances by herself when there's nobody else. Standing all alone where the people are known. To give it a try, knowing they will not survive. It's just one of those nights, just one of those nights. All alone, mind racing still. Looking around at something I just built. Face it, it's never on your side. You wouldn't believe nothing but a single life. The dancing type with something to say would come for a drink, then be on her way. Well, who's to say if she found Mr. Right? Behind closed doors, might be loyal and tight. What about tonight never means something. She asked for 10 digits, will she be bugging? Hopefully not, as it's kinda odd. Messaging a girl with a guy in lock. Don't wanna be caught in that kind of mess. What I said to myself, but right before I left, my phone turns on. Who could that be? Text from the girl saying sorry, had to leave. She dances by herself when there's nobody else. Standing all alone where the people are known. To give it a try, knowing they will not survive. It's just one of those nights. Just one of those nights. She dances by herself when there's nobody else. Standing all alone where the people are known. To give it a try, knowing they will not survive. It's just one of those nights. Just one of those nights. She dances by herself when there's nobody else. Standing all alone where the people are known. To give it a try, knowing they will not survive.
It is BRL all across Australia on the Community Radio Network. And now joining us in the studio, it has been a grip since we've had someone in the studio. I think it was the Dexter show. That would have been, wow, I think that was January. We even had an in-studio guest since January.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That is nuts. But now joining us is Perth hip-hop act. Because, I don't know, like, do you want to have the term MC? Do you want to have the term rapper? How does that work for you?
Yeah, to be honest, I reckon I'd say rapper for now. But yeah, as you've heard with the EP, it's definitely not all just rap. But yeah, we'll go rapper. We'll go with rapper.
That's why I asked the question. But joining us in the studio is Chatters. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Now, it is the seminal question every debut that we ever have on this program. Chatters, I don't have a coffee, but how do you take your coffee?
Oh, mate, I'm either a long black or a flat white. Depends on the temperature of the day. Long black during winter, flat white in summer.
Fair enough. I like that. There's a bit of thought into that. Now, I wish I could remember, because we were just talking about the Seth Sedtree interview moments before we turned on the microphone. And for the life of me, and I just haven't gone through and skipped through the interview because I don't want to hear myself talk again. Happy to listen to Seth, but not me. And the first question he had was something to do with like how many children could you fight on roller skates or something like that. And that was the opening question. And I'm like, that's the best question ever. Part of me is like, do I change it? Because I've had that coffee question since 2005.
The coffee question is a good opener, and it warms you up. I reckon the roller coaster one's a good one, as I think you have to put thought into it, because some people think it's easy to beat around a couple of kids with roller skates, but that'd be pretty hard.
I think it would be.
That'd swarm you quick.
Yeah, I was literally thinking about this as I was having some takeaway before I came here, and I saw a bunch of teenagers. Look, let's just be honest, I'm in Gosnells, which is kind of a dodgy part of town, and there were some dodgy-looking kids walking around, and, there was about 6 just, running around McDonald's kind of thing, and you're like, you keep your eye now. Just so, because I had a laptop on me and everything, so because teenagers are teenagers, and I remember what I was like as a teenager.
Yeah, you take risks.
You take risks. Oh, let's mess with this guy. Let's pour something on his laptop. Let's steal his laptop. I probably would have thrown an ice cream or something like that.
Yeah.
Just dumb, goofy stuff that's from Tension or Jackass or something like that.
How good was Tension? That show was unbelievable. That's a whole other...
Now, here we go. This is the first person that I've ever brought Tension up to in maybe 20 years that knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
It was a Jackass ripoff from Perth.
Yeah, 100%.
But
they killed it. But they still had some original ideas, like walking with the TV across the crosswalk and just dropping it.
Yeah, you never saw Jackass do some... Yeah, some of that stuff was actually, original pranks.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously, Jackass is in a league of its own, but Tension was unreal, and it was pretty cool because they were from Perth.
It was, they're all sort of Perth or Western Australian lads, and then and it wasn't just pranks, it was also world-class bodyboarding videos as well, and you're like, oh, okay, and you have them playing random A Tribe Called Quest songs, and I think it was Tom Petty and stuff in there.
Yeah, they did that, who was that? Shakira. Remember when they did this? I think that was in Tension 10.
I've not gone that far. I've maybe watched, I think it was the first 2, possibly 3 that I saw, and that was old VHS days, showing my age, but old VHS days. They're probably all on YouTube. I'll just have to probably look it up. But
I have no idea.
But it was right... And I'll put a beep in this for the radio version of this interview. I just remember one of the funniest things ever is, I think Ryan Hardy is this sort of cut out of a thing, and it's Ryan Hardy just looks down the barrel, is like, I'm Ryan Hardy, I'm a world number 1 bodyboarder, and I'm fucking drunk. And I'm just howling laughing at that. It's just oh, okay.
Just to the point, really.
Just to the point. I'm sweet. And shouts to the Tension guys.
Yeah.
They're probably all 50 now, but...
Man, I'd love to know what they're doing. Hey.
I reckon
I hope they didn't squander the money, but I'm pretty sure those were really successful. All of those videos were successful.
I remember, I think it was Astor Theatre, and they sold that out with one of the tensions.
What?
And, yeah, man. Like not Astor Theatre. What's the Luna Cinemas.
Oh, wow.
They sold out one of those. And I remember, like, at the end of it, everyone just cut sick and was just, like, throwing, obviously you got, like, all these people in there, and they just throwing everything everywhere. It was a good experience. Bit of fun.
Oh, my God. See, this is deeper than what I thought. I will happily have the dudes from Tension on the podcast version of this program just to talk about Tension.
Yeah, it'd be
Call us out there, Tension. There you go. Ryan Hardy and all the other guys. But let's talk about the record, because that's what we're here to talk about, not old surf videos from WA the 2000s. Good grief. Now, this is out now. It's available for everyone?
Yeah, it's available for everyone now. It's on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all those. And yeah, it came out on the 28th of June.
Yep.
And yeah, so far, it's been good. Positive reviews and all that. People have liked it. And yeah, I just feel like it's a massive, brand new step from Chatroom, really.
Yes.
So I'm pretty happy with it all.
And it's at times it's radio friendly. Like those nights, the track that we opened with, very radio friendly.
Yeah, thanks. And I think that we didn't I don't write music and try and produce it and all that. It's not in my head to make it radio friendly. It's just kind of what how I want to make the song and how I want it to sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the biggest things with the EP. A lot of people were saying, it doesn't sound silly if it was on radio. Like it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, I was like, that's a pretty cool compliment.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
unreal.
and it's even for a show this niche for something that's sort of got maybe a bit more crossover appeal than a bunch of the stuff that we normally play on this program. It's kind of cool, and that's why I like having people in to talk about this kind of stuff. And we've gone on some weird tangents when it comes to this show of late. It's not just like me sitting here playing old Culture of Kings once again. It's kind of cool for stuff like yours and all the other recent guests as well. We're sort of opening up a bit more when it comes to this, which is good. It's good. But let's talk about the track, the opening track, Rich and Fame. Well, we're going to hit play on this, so tell us about this.
So Rich and Fame pretty much was written very heavily influenced by the idea of, obviously The Tongue, the show. In my opinion, it's a great song, and I remember seeing him live at Mojo's a couple of years back now. And that was his opening track. And something about that song, and even before I saw him live, that song was played at a lot of hip-hop gigs I used to go to. And it just had like that, it just sets the mood straight away. Like when he walked out, he played that song, you just knew you were in for something. And this song was actually called Intro for a long time between me and Uncle Sam. We were always like, we'll be the first song on the EP, the opener, and when we do shows, this will be the first song. So, yeah.
So, here it is. It's the second song on our little album party here on BRL. Chad is in studio with us.
It seems to me we live in a life to see, where the rich live the life the way it's meant to be. Carry on daily, what's left on the screen is nothing but complaining on hopes and dreams. Huh? What about me? Could settle a few mil, I buy a few boats and live up in the hills. Have my own mansion, have my own anthem. If it's not good, radio play still granted. Sleep all day, then out during the night. As every event, I seem to get the invite. When it comes to flights, leg room's never tight. It's first class, baby, unless it's a private flight. You live life like Jim Carrey's Bruce Almighty, but end up rich without losing the sight. Under all the girls' panties, and a couple Grammys. Who's to say what the fuck I can be? Some of that rich and fame, a ghost survive, even forget the name. Well, who's to say if you'll end up like this? A paper trail life is all we wish, cause we all want some of that rich and fame. A ghost survive, even forget the name. Well, who's to say if you'll end up like this? A paper trail life haven't changed a bit. Well, it's never enough when you're all the fuss, just leaving the house is an adrenaline rush. Assigning all the titties, being chased by all the biddies. It's not to say why the fellas are with me, since we've just started the wave. When your hands are up, but people follow the same. It's insane. Living life like this, a money in my hand, can't even close my fist. Who would assist, working 9 to 5 in a suit and a tie, about half of the size. Corporate picture, trying to be richer, selling to sell with only half of the picture. Wish ya, I'd be somewhere else, chased by the sound of everyone else. Who's to complain, just being the wise guy, living out the dreams of every single nice guy.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. And make love good. What'd you say? Let's talk about the music.
Cause we all want some of that rich and fame. Go so far, even forget the name. Well, who's to say if you'll end up like this? A paper trail life is all we wish. Cause we all want some of that rich and fame. Go so far, even forget the name. Well, who's to say if you'll end up like this? A paper trail life haven't changed a bit.
It is BRL all across Australia on the Community Radio Network, talking about semi-inside baseball stuff. Look, it's a news story. It happened that we mentioned the tongue, and we won't talk about incidents because I guess that's to go through courts. But we were just like, hey, yeah, what happened? It's like, well, yeah, there was this thing, and then I've got a story that I could literally show you on my phone right now. There it is.
Yeah.
There was a
no mucking around.
Yeah, kind of thing. We won't talk about it. Anyway, it is Beats, Rhymes and Life all across Australia, Community Radio Network. How you doing, folks? Now we got chatters in the studio, and that it was Rich and Fame. First track of your new EP, which is available now for everyone to go and cop. That's Spotify, that is Apple Music, that is all of those streaming things. Is there going to be hard copies?
Well, I think I will make hard copies down the track, probably near the end of the year.
Yep.
And I reckon I'll most likely actually join chat room with Still Chatting, make a kind of an album hard copy and make a limited few.
That's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah, so that was the idea just before, hopefully before Christmas time.
Excellent. So we'll keep your eyes out for that one. But a little background for those of us who are not entirely familiar. I probably should have opened, or at least before we got into tension and the tongue. Talked about sort of a bit of background on yourself for our East Coast crew.
Yeah. So pretty much, I was actually in a band. I was a guitarist.
Yep.
When I was younger. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of turned into not a super group. We've all kind of went our own ways as we got older.
Yep.
But the guitarist from the other guitarist from the band, he's now in Sly Withers.
Oh wow!
So he's doing really good.
They're doing real good.
He's the bass guitarist for them. The drummer Elliot, he's now in another band called Late 90s. I saw them play at Amplifier Bar.
All right,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a
awesome
good gig.
Yeah,
that's a good gig.
That was sick. And then there's me, which was really weird and strange because I was always a guitarist. Never really thought about, or no one ever really knew me as someone jumping on the mic or even writing. And I just did it my whole life in the background. And then, hit around 20, I'd say, 21. And I just kind of had a pretty ordinary day at work. And I was just like, you know what? I'll give it a whirl. And then, kind of mucked around on my own, did some couple my own things, and then met up with Uncle Sam. And I reckon that's pretty much where it took off. Like that guy's a genius.
I love how I say when you were younger and 21. Bro, I'm nearly 40.
Sorry, man.
Just turned 37 the other week. Oh my god! It's like, when I was young, like.
Yeah, look, mate, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I do that to every young guest. It's like, it's like, when that was happening, like, the first ever BRL was on air, like you were in nappies and stuff. I did that to a guest once. Like, what? Yeah, man. Like,
I was rocking out to it. Don't you remember? Had to change the diaper because of it.
So it's just it blows me away. But that's another story for another day. 'Cause I'm feeling very old now. As you said, from band to now, it's the Uncle Sam thing. Did you guys meet sort of like serendipitously, or like was it a hookup thing? Did you seek him out?
Yeah, I kind of seeked him out. So he was putting heaps of beat catalogs out.
Yep.
And I really, really liked them all. I pretty much messaged him, bought one.
Yep.
And then pretty much said to him, was like, hey man, do you have a recording studio? Like, and all that. Went in, met him, and the guy's just a gentleman and a half.
He's the best. Shout out to Uncle Sam.
I don't know how he does it and deals with me, because I'll walk in and I'll have like a crazy idea of a song or whatever, and I'll not even make sense. I'll just say to him, I was like, oh man, I want the drums to go, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I know what you mean, and then he just does it, and like, and it just works, and I'm like, this is cool, man, like, you kill it. And he's one of those guys as well where he'll push his own boundaries for you. Like, he's not scared to actually see how where you take a project, and then he'll actually take it on board and kind of put his care factor in it. He doesn't just look at it and go, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit here and press record, you do your thing. Like, he'll sit there and he'll be like, man, that sucked, do it again, or try this melody with this. And yeah, man, like, I honestly can't vouch for the man enough. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Absolutely, and the name is getting out there.
Yeah,
and it also, of course, has his film.
Yeah, the Drop Shot Media.
Drop Shot Media as well. Not a free plug, but it's out there.
Yeah,
not a sponsor of the program, but he does great stuff. You can see it on a lot of West Coast hip hop videos. Like, I think the most recent one I've seen was the one he did for Misk and Cortex, and that sort of like cypher track they did, which is excellent.
Yeah, he killed on that. And now, did you see that new one? I think it was with Bitter Belief, Complete.
I think that's what I'm on about.
No, is that
yes, that's a Misk song.
That's right. Yeah, that was killed. Like, around the table.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. Sorry, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was unreal.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. Like, the guy is amazing production wise, but even when you get him on the camera, just the angles and the vision he has is just, he's just, I can't talk him enough, man. Like, he's sick.
And that's the other thing as well. Like, Cortex is there as well, who makes videos himself, and they're good too.
Yeah, exactly right. He's a multi-talented guy.
Perth, people forget about it, but at the same time they don't. The names ring out from around here. You complete a bit of beliefs, of course. You go back to Downside, Hunter, Clandestine, all that kind of thing from back in the day. But sometimes you see, like, with East Coast sort of, written media and otherwise, we're kind of forgotten about here a lot, which it
kind of sucks, man.
But same time, that's what I'm here for.
Exactly right. And I feel like definitely WA is getting a lot more exposure. You look at Complete's blowing up at the moment.
Yep.
Bitter Belief just dropped the album, and
that went number one.
Yeah, he killed it, and he deserves it, man. He's so hardworking. He's been around for so many years.
Yeah.
And I really like his stuff, and he's one of the guys that definitely deserves it.
Absolutely. Shouts to Bitter, shouts to Complete. Now, let's get into another track here, and I was going to play Over and Throne.
Oh, yeah, Over and Throne?
Yes.
With Olivia D. Mello.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she's obviously, she's the vocals on it.
Yep.
She does the chorus.
She could be a rapper, I don't know.
She has an amazing voice. She came into the studio, I had the lyrics written for her, and I was like, hey, this is kind of what I want you to do. Just take it. Within the first take, she was already like on it, killed it, and then had her own vision as well, like saying, oh, try this, do this, and she killed it. Absolutely killed it.
So here it is. Let's play it right now on BRL.
I know we've been thick and thin. It was easy at the start, it's easy to begin. But right now you're asking me if we can even do this. Even if the words sound stupid, might not have been a mistake, but it's one we're gonna make. All or nothing, being friends had its place. Forget now on how things used to be. when each night starts about 2:45. What it's meant to be, something out of nothing. Home by myself or with you for something. See how long, well, it's gonna take for one of us to go on, switch off the plate. Well, who's to mistake? It takes two to tango. Can dance by yourself unless you plan to so. Well, I guess we'll see when it's time to leave. If you roll your eyes or just fall asleep. Hey! Words are sane, but your actions getting weaker. I know how it wasn't meant to be anything big, but seeing you around is something that I dig. Don't know how to say it without telling a little fib, like Pinocchio's nose. It's getting kind of big. Wanna call it off when still taking the shots. I'm missing the whole lot. It's something I cannot, even though we know we might. It's still a fright. I hold it all in till we're drunk and alright. Always crossing the line when it's just a little fun. Holding in the emotions till we're about done. We try and we try and we try a little more when we put it on stop, but we're always unsure. Then it's why and it's why and it's why you don't call. Bad habits survive when the rhyme's on the wall, yeah.
Ooh, it's BRL all across Australia on the Community Radio Network, and it's time to pretty much wrap this one up. And we've had ourselves a good time tonight with chatters in the studio. Thanks for joining us here on the program.
Anytime, man. Thank you for having me.
And one more plug. Where do people go and cop it?
Yeah, so pretty much follow me on Instagram, Facebook, chatters.chats.
Yep.
And then, yeah, obviously all on Spotify, Apple Music. Give me a follow. YouTube. I've got got a fair few video clips now.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about kids.
Yes.
Obviously watch Someday Soon then.
Yes.
You want to watch that because it's just me dressed as a drunk clown scaring two of my niece and nephew. So, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, shouts to my little nephew, Jack.
Yeah, shout out.
Who will never listen to this show. Or maybe he will when he's older. He's
you never
one.
know.
I don't know, is he even one? But yeah, like out of anything that's ever happened, like child-wise with me, and I've been on regular like children. Ugh. That little nephew has just cut straight through, and now I'm just like, he can do whatever he wants.
Oh man, they especially is he like the first one in the family?
Yeah, the first nephew in the family. So it's just like everyone's just like Jack.
Yeah, man, we've had I remember when like Tide was growing up and it was just him. Like now there's a couple more.
Yeah.
And yeah, every Christmas he'd go up to every single one of us. It's hell cute, and it just goes like, oh, hey, Uncle Nick, how you doing? Yeah, good man, good. You got my present? And and then you'd be like, oh, yeah, fair cop. And then you'd literally give it to him, or like, you'd be like, oh, I got to wait. And then he'd just go to like my sister, and then my like dad, like everyone just does the whole lap. I'm like, you know what, good on you. And it is the first one, but no, I love him.
Got my present.
He's a great kid.
Ugh. Age is just, it's weakened me in there. Yeah, it's just like, wow, this nephew of mine. It's like, literally, probably tomorrow we will probably babysit for a little bit for this child, and I will sit there and be an attentive uncle-in-law. What the hell?
Yeah, good luck.
What has happened to me? He's a good kid.
Yeah.
Shouts to Jack. Anyway, the EP is called
Still Chatting.
Still Chatting. Yeah. So by Chatters, it is available everywhere now. And that wraps up this week's program. Thanks very much for listening, everybody. And we're Diggy Done, son. See you later. goodbye. Last word to you.
Yeah, see you later, everyone. Thank you for having me again, man. And yeah, check it out. Cheers.
Dropping EDM, hip-hop, and a bunch of best beat programs around. If you want bangers, you'll be in the right place with Tune One. Tune1.com.au. That's tune1.com.au. Tune One, proud show sponsor.